Geneva, which is a correct way to pronounce Geneva gin. Everyone calls it Geneva. That's the English anglicised version. The correct pronunciation in Holland is Geneva, and English couldn't pronounce it properly, or they're too lazy, so they called it Geneva, and then they're too lazy to even say that, so they shortened it to gin, and that's the etymology of the word. Geneva was as a high malt-based gin that's aged in a barrel. So have you all tried one before? That's the original type of gin that was made industrially for the first time. It's really intense. When you smell it, it's quite intense. This is not it. The first gin was made in around the 1200s by Benedictine monks in Salerno in Italy, and it was invented as a kind of for its medicinal properties. Juniper has been for thousands of years. Even the Egyptians used juniper for headaches. They boil it with frankincense, cumin, and wine, and a bit of honey, and that was the Egyptians' Panadol, if you will, for a headache. So over for thousands of years, juniper has been used for its medicinal properties. About 150 years ago, it was disproven that it was proven that juniper doesn't have any actual medicinal properties apart from the properties of relaxation, which is quite medicinal in itself. So this gin here is called Old Tom Gin, and the Hayman family used an ancient recipe from the 1800s. This was the #1 produced white spirit in the 1800s, Old Tom Gin. They call it the missing link between Geneva and London Dry. This was the first type of gin that the English would make. And at the time, in the mid-1700s, something had just hit London about 50 years before, and everyone was putting it in everything. And do you know what that is? Sugar. So this is a sweetened style of gin. A lot of people believe that they would put sugar in their gin to mask the really rough distillates of the time, and that would be true. But the main reason is because at that time in London they were putting sugar in everything because they just discovered it. It was just being made it was being made commercially on a big scale and available easily for the first time. So Old Tom's a sweet style of gin. It stopped being made in 1950. It became defunct because everyone's palates moved to dry gins, and they just weren't selling it anymore. So in 2005, Hayman family bought this out, and it's the world's first Old Tom gin in 55 years. So it's pretty sweet. The world's first Martini, the Martinez, was made with Old Tom gin. The first Singapore Sling in 1914, Raffles Hotel by Nguyen Tong Boon, was made with Old Tom gin. The Tom Collins was originally made with Old Tom gin, hence the name. So when you look at cocktail pedigree, very few spirits that you have down there will have this pedigree. Okay, it's used at the White House and not the strip club in Auckland, the actual White House in America, because the bartender there has got they've got an amazing bar at the White House for functions, and to make these classic drinks you need an Old Tom to make it properly. So it's got sugar in it, and that's what gives it that really smooth, sweet, well-rounded mouthfeel. Really easy to drink, room temperature, really smooth, really sweet. Now, the Tom Collins is definitely the best way to drink it. All you do is shake a little bit of lemon and sugar, tall glass, lots of ice, splash of soda. Absolutely delicious. So the 10 botanicals in there: a juniper forward, lemon peel, angelica, coriander, angelica, licorice, cinnamon, sweet cinnamon, known as cassia, cloves, nutmeg, and cardamom.